For those just starting out, to those who built their reputation. In the detail industry, navigating the course is a daily grind. This is Play-by-Play with industry professionals tackling topics and offering tips to help improve your game plan. Now, here's your Play-by-Play.
All right, what is up, everybody? We are back. Boom! With another episode of Play-by-Play.
Back once again. I know you guys missed us too, and we apologize for not giving you the heads up. We're going to be taking a couple weeks off.
And it felt nice to get away, but it feels really good to be back.
I loved the text and stuff like, "Hey man, did I miss the show?" Or it's like,
I didn't get any of those. How did that feel though?
Oh, it's pretty cool, man. I got fans, you know. Well, Miss
Your
Vandy and my mom.
I should say mom
okay.
doesn't count. You know what's really bad is my mom didn't ask me while we were off air. While we were not posting our podcast. So, and I was like, kind of let down. So I think it means she's not
weird
watching
Thanksgiving.
Anymore.
Yeah,
it was a weird Thanksgiving. Yeah. She's coming into town today, so we'll have to talk about that. Anyways, today we are having a great conversation with our buddy Mike Karlen from IGL. He is a sales rep over there for them. And, they're pushing out this new product called Aegis, and it is an industrial solution. And this is a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually giving people a whole new different aspect, like, a viewpoint of what they could potentially do when.
It opens many doors.
Yes,
it opens many doors, and you're not going to be, you got to really think outside the box on this. Some ties back into detailing industry, but some of it's completely left field.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's exciting. I can't wait to talk to him. I've been to their trainings, and can't wait to dive deep with Mike on this stuff.
No, absolutely, man. And we're also going to be doing a little bit of talking about, hacker hack, of course, is going to be coming up, but
so we're still doing the traditional hacker hack where we guess the video.
Yeah, no, I think we're going with that one again.
Going with the guess. So we watch it and we try to figure it out.
Yeah, and I think they're going to tell us probably at the end of it what exactly it was. So
I like it. It's always intriguing.
Yeah. Chris puts together some good videos.
He does. Anyway, so before we get into the show, we do want to talk about the reason of which we have today's show. And that's because we want to talk about like things that you do in addition to detailing that help supplement income, especially during slow times, or to just help grow your business altogether. Right.
Absolutely.
So you think about detailing, and those of you that know, like kind of my business model around here, it's off. We have other revenue streams as well. So we have a retail store where we sell apparel. We have a storage facility that kind of surrounds our detailing shop.
Mm-hmm.
We have detailing, but then, we have...
Don't forget marketing.
Well, we have marketing and software and stuff like that. But, like around the detailing business began retail and storage. But we looked for things that, our detailers can do along with detailing. Like what other services can we provide? And, and so I went to this Aegis training, right? And it's in Lexington, Kentucky. And it was amazing. It was so good. The first one I went to, and I took it all in. I came back to the shop and I was trying to tell my dad about it. I'm like, you know what, dude, I can't do it justice. I got to bring you back, and I got to take you to the training. And so me and him went back and watched it again. It was really good.
That's awesome, man. And we were also talking about Chris DiGiovanni with the Detailers Roadmap. He put up a post earlier in the week that was, just talking about things that were being searched on Google. And so PPF is one of the most searched things, like underneath detailing. It said that the numbers have skyrocketed for that. So being able to, add another service like a PPF, window tinting is, I think he said the number one right behind detailing was window tinting. So, these are things that, we knew that they're building, especially the PPF is building in popularity. And
it's your job as the business owner to stay on top of these things.
Right.
Like as markets change and shift, you have to be ahead of that or else you get left behind.
Right.
And so like to be aware of things like this that are happening in our industry and in the market, to be able to, side shift a little bit and say, okay, well, we made a shift over to PPF. If that's what's being demanded right now, then it's up to me to implement that in my shop. Or if there's an opportunity from this industrial side, where commercial construction's going or whatever, agriculture, like these other industries that aren't serviced as well, why wouldn't we consider bringing that into our business model and chasing that income stream, because that's what we're looking for, right? We're just trying to pay the bills and keep growing.
Especially in that slow period, we want to keep our employees happy. We want to keep them on. We want to keep a paycheck in their pocket. So if we can get them to, if we can get them some jobs when detailing slows down, then I mean, we're just all better off for it.
Well, and whether you take the opportunity or not, right? So this is something that you need to understand. Whether you take the opportunity, like go hear it out.
Go
listen. Yes, right. Go listen. You may not implement. You may say, "Hey, this is not a thing for me," but at least because within that, you probably learn something about what you are doing.
Yes.
If you say, "Okay, this is probably still not my thing," you probably come back and double down a little bit harder on what you do currently. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. These are things that this is how you learn. This is how you grow your business. And so to make sure that you keep an open mind for opportunities like this, I'll give you a little example. We do some dealership work. Again, we didn't do it for years, and we just started within the last 6 months. And one of the dealerships we work for was so pleased with our work. They're like, "Hey, we have this huge shop that nobody's using. We'd like for you guys to set up another location and rent it out and do detailing down here." And so like my first instinct was like, no, thank you. Like we're good here.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? What's the harm in going to look? Let's go look and see. Let's go talk about it. It all starts with a conversation anyway.
Sure.
So we go down and we look at the property, and we're talking a little bit about like what it would look like if. But you don't know if you shut those things down. If you have a closed mind, you never know what that next thing may be or that next opportunity at hand may be. So you have to keep an open mind in business. Your job as the owner to make sure you're allowing yourself to hear all these opportunities and options.
And that's so smart. And this is the time of year to do it whenever you know that you're starting to slow down a little bit, guys. That's not a bad thing. That means time to add another skill set, continue what you have.
Before no, always. Absolutely. And look, so we're coached on this, like, it's so weird that people are like, hey, learn to say no. You can say no to the action, but you don't say no to the thought, right? The conversation.
Absolutely.
It takes a minimal time to have a conversation, or to at least for you to think about something. That don't mean you're saying yes to it. I didn't go agree to sign a contract with these guys down there. I just said, hey, you know what? It's worthy of a conversation.
Absolutely.
And so we go down and we have lunch, good excuse to go get a good lunch down in Mobile. And, we go check out the building. And so here we are in some talks about what it would look like. And you just don't know until, you try those things out. So be open-minded to these new things. I mean, Aegis is definitely one of those things that you need to be open-minded about, because it has predominantly nothing to do with detail.
Let me tell you this, though. I've talked to a couple guys, and I told her, they kind of let me in on some secret things they were looking at and working with. But a couple of these guys, now that they've done the Aegis training and they've been working with it, they are like, I might end up being out of the detailing industry altogether if it takes off like I'm anticipating now that I've got this interest in it from totally different,
Yeah. I mean, the opportunity, there's like, there's no comparison in the industry from detailing to this new thing, right? Like it's unlimited. Detailing is limited because it's connected to the labor. In other words, you can only, like, labor and income are correlated. The more income you want to make, the more your labor cost is. Any business that you can find that you can ramp up the income exponentially, and labor only follows it at a slower rate, is a much easier scalable business. And this product allows for that. It has that opportunity. Now it's work. Like, you got to go in, you got to sell a different customer base, and there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot to be learned by everybody involved, but it's an opportunity. And I think that you guys that are considering it or are thinking about something else, this should be one of those things.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Everybody that I've talked to has been trained, just was blown away, and certainly is eager to start putting it into practice. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome. Hey, well, look, we've talked a lot about it. Let's go ahead and bring Mike on. Or did you have a video? Oh, I'm sorry. What's up, Mike?
What's up, buddy? We just told the smashed Ethan.
Hey, Mike, you want to go ahead and play that video for us, Ethan? was cool. Man, we had to show that Chris did a really good job. That was actually that crane that we did that you helped me personally on get set up, and we fought it a little bit at the start.
Looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. We got a few more. We got about a quarter of it left to spray. We just hadn't had the weather that we were looking for to get out there. I mean, obviously, you're not going to wheel that thing in the shop and spray it. You know, she's an outside girl, so.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on Mike Karlen from IGL. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks, guys, for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So just kind of give a little brief intro for the guys that may not know who you are, a little bit of your background.
Sure. So I am Mike Karlen with IGL Coatings. I've been with them full-time for about a year, part-time 6 months before that, roughly. I am a sales rep and a trainer for them. Also own a detail shop in Stanley, Wisconsin that my wife pretty much runs, and my nephews and son. So they do a good job at that. And then before I ever came to IGL, I was actually a manager of about 300 individuals at a $110 million manufacturing facility. So we have a lot of background in that too. So, but yeah, primarily right now, a lot of my day is around ages.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of that, like let's, you know, talk about ages. I mean, they've heard the name. I've kind of gave a little intro, but what exactly is it?
So a lot of people get confused thinking that Aegis is like a ceramic coating, and it's not. Aegis itself is a graphene reinforced anti-corrosion clear coat. So it's a 2K paint system basically with anti-corrosion characteristics in it. In fact, if you look at some of the lab tests, all of your coatings in the industry for the most part go through a salt spray chamber test. And that's how they determine how long something is durable for. And Aegis itself against competition, you know, I won't name all the competition, and it's not the ceramic coatings that we think about. Paint systems.
Right, these are major
anti-corrosion, billion-dollar companies.
Sure.
When you look at the salt spray test, our product has just passed the 5,000 hour salt spray test, which what people don't realize, they think 5,000 hours, that's not a lot of time. But in these tests, for every 100 hours, that equals 1 year.
Oh, so that's what 50 years.
5,000 hours in that test is equivalent to 50 years.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, a lot of my installers will say, well, how do I warranty this, or what do I guarantee this for? And I don't even like putting years on something because of the fact of what's your environment versus my environment. You know, I'm in Wisconsin, you're in Alabama. What's the difference? But what I can tell you is our competitors are you know, the close competitors that I talked about, at about 96 hours, they're started to deteriorate in the salt chamber test. At 597, there was nothing left. It was pure rust and scales, and ours went untouched up to that 5,000 hours. So I like to tell people, you're looking at something that passes up 9 to 10 times what our closest competitor will. So that's the safe way of looking at it.
That's amazing, man. That's big time. That's huge.
Yeah. And so you talk about it's not a coating, right? And so we're taking detailers that are used to laying coatings at this point. You know, how do you transition from that to being able to spray a paint system? I mean, I'm not a painter, you know, how do I get from polishing and coating into now I'm spraying other things?
You know, I'd have you evaluate when you came through class.
Yeah.
You know, I would say if we have a class of 10 to 15 people, we may have one person that's sprayed before.
Sure.
And maybe some people have sprayed some ceramics or industrial coatings, but they've never painted.
Right.
And if you go back to our class when we did that unit, we took people that have never sprayed before, and within 5 minutes,
it's easy.
It's a breeze. We made it easy. You know, it made it really easy for people to transition into. Now, that doesn't mean we still have to pivot our business. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if we tell people right in the classes, can you use it in the detailing world? Yeah, there's some applications. I mean, I've done some underbody frames at my shop for trucks. There's people that are doing trailers. But the biggest thing is you have to come into this class ready to pivot your business, open-minded, because there's a whole nother realm that this can be used on that other coatings can't, that they're not going to hold up to. I think of construction, agriculture. We have people that are going after the railroad system, and they're very successful with it. Pipelines. The big wind turbines,
so
all
these
that
major markets that are open to this thing. But you said it right. And listen, this is the hard part. So learning to spray a new product, okay, learning a new technique, a new skill, that's, those things can be learned and adapted over time. But transitioning that mindset of selling a detail for 300, 500, 1,000, 1,500. Well, I'll compare it to this. Going from selling a $50 car wash to a $1,500 detail, there was a huge learning curve, a huge learning curve. Yeah. It's probably the same learning curve that you're going to go from that is to go from, ceramic coatings to now, providing a service for larger industries. And it's a whole different ball game. But it's, it's there, and the competition isn't there yet.
Right.
So you're kind of in a league on your own, and so, I think the idea, I mean, I know how I sold my first job. The guy this is how it happened. So this is that crane you just saw. Okay. The guy messaged me on Facebook and he says, "Hey, Dustin, I need you to come out here and polish this crane." And I looked at it and I'm like, no, we don't need to polish that crane. Like, because if we polish it, it's not going to, it's going to last a month or two. Right. So I call him up. I'm like, hey, I said, are you open to are you open to another suggestion? He's like, absolutely. And so I said, look, I just got through this training. They got this product now that's going to be perfect for this paint system. We put it on there. It's going to look great. It's going to protect it. It's going to keep it from corroding. It's only going to get better from here. Instead of me polishing it, it's, charging you. In 3 months, you're like buyer's remorse because it looks the same. And he's like, absolutely, come do it. And so then as we're spraying it, dude, he's just mind blown at that, the look of it. And also, it's, as we sit here and say it's transition and it's hard, it is, but it's possible.
Right.
And you have to, once you flip that switch, you sit and you commit to it, it's absolutely a sellable service.
And that's something that we try to cover in the class. Like, we
Yes.
have to go in and act the part, look the part, and
Yes.
be confident about it so you can sell these jobs. And I'm going to give a little example just at what we did recently at our shop. We had a implement dealership. We all have implement dealerships close to us, whether it be construction or tractor, whatever it is. There's something next to us.
For those that don't know, what is the implements like? What is that?
Like they're basically selling farm equipment, construction equipment.
Okay, got it.
So some are new, but a lot of used. And I had them call me because obviously they need details just like vehicles to try to sell this stuff. So I came in and they said, well, look at these units. And right, of course, they're faded. And I said, are you looking at having this polished out too? And he goes, well, biggest thing is obviously we need it detailed, but yes, then we need it to look good on the outside.
Yeah.
And what they shared with me, and I just want to give this example so that there's other places out there that are doing the same thing. This is a large implement dealership in Wisconsin. And you have your service department and you have your sales department. I always thought that they worked together because they're the same company, but really they're their own entity in the company. And what happens is when a unit comes in, the service department will do all the detailing on it. And then they bill the sales department, which comes out of their commission or their sales.
It's a cost. It's a cost to the sale.
Yeah. So he had said that their sales department or their service department was charging $3,000 just to have something detailed.
$3,000.
So you can imagine that the salesmen are mad because that's $3,000.
Yeah, that's right.
What might be their profit or their commission.
Absolutely.
So they'd asked me, "Can you do better?" I said, "Well, we can detail that thing for about $800, but I can do one better for you. I can spray ages on the outside of it, and now I can maybe do that for $1,500 or $1,800
Sure.
to make that thing look brand new. They weren't getting it polished by service before. They're
Yeah.
just detailed.
Just getting cleaned up.
So now they're like, well, yeah, that seems, now they can get something sold a lot faster. It's going to look better.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably going to be able to charge more money for it. And
Wow.
their commission's going to go up. So there's a lot of them scenarios out there. You just got to go knock on the doors and dig in a little bit deeper. You're going to knock on 100 doors and 99 of them might shut on you, but
Sure.
somebody's going to open that door.
That
And we had somebody go to the railroad and they did a sample spot on a locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're talking about this young gentleman is looking at over $1 million contract with the railroad.
That's incredible.
I wonder if we're talking about the same guy.
So let's back up. Obviously, that sounds great and wonderful, but like I'm a detailer. I'm hearing this podcast. I don't just pick up the phone and call Mike and say, "Hey, ship me a couple boxes of it." Right? That's not how it works. What does a detailer got to do to get in this? To get to join in on this wave?
So monthly we have training in Lexington, Kentucky. That's our main. That's our headquarters for training. Our training
Sure.
center. The IGL Training Center in Lexington. The first thing you want to do is reach out to a rep. One of us, if you don't have an IGL account, reach out to one of the reps. Otherwise, reach out to your rep, or you can email IGL or training@iglcoatingsusa.com and tell us that you're interested in the Aegis training.
Okay.
From there, yes, you have to go through training no matter what to get this product. And there's, it's not because it's hard. Dustin, you saw how easy it is.
Oh, it's
but there's things that we need to cover from a safety side of things, from protocol to your local regulations, that you need to check on. Looking the part, being the part. We have to teach you how to do that so you can sell this service. And then there's a correct way of mixing things. So you have your PPE that you need to wear, and then you have the mixology part of it. After that, I mean, there's about 5 hours of what we call death by PowerPoint. But it's really not death by PowerPoint. It's pretty interesting. Marcus and I, once in a while, we probably get sick of it because we hear the same thing over and over again. But every class is pretty unique. There's always questions, and it's funny when you're in the class because you can recognize, like, okay, there's gonna be this question is gonna come up, and they don't realize it's on the next page. It's gonna be the next slide. But we go through that whole thing. And then, of course, we're going to be doing all of the mixology hands-on part of it. And that's day one. Day one is probably 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Everybody say hi to Marcus. He's on the phone right now.
What's up, Marcus? My buddy.
He probably can't hear, but he's calling in. So we'll cover that from 8 to 5. And then, of course, we'll have a nice little lunch. And then the next day, we're going to come in on Sunday. And it's usually about 4 hours. We're going to sit down and recap everything. That's when everybody's, starting to ask questions. And we start finding out, what are your ideas? Where are you going to take this thing? So the class is really crucial. And we make this class as affordable as possible.
Sure.
When you walk away, you're gonna, this class is a $600 class,
right?
Which is,
that's cheap, man. That's cheap.
And when you walk away, you're gonna walk away. Well, we'll ship you a free kit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break it down, we had one individual that he took that kit, and he just told us the other day he made $4,000 off that kit.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the crane that I did half the crane or more than half the crane with the kit, and I had played with it before, with the half the crane with the kit, and I don't know what the final ticket price is going to be on the crane, but it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 or $4,000. And so, like, like I can wrap my travel, my dad's expensive trip to the horse track, I can wrap all that up, all that cost up, and still justify the trip because of the first job that I did, and it's so the opportunity is there. You just got to come through it. And like Mike said, there's some technicality stuff that you want to learn there. Like, I can imagine you don't put this in a how-to guide because like somebody's going to butcher it. And then now all of a sudden we're not working on, the minivan at that point. We're working on a most likely an expensive piece of machinery or something, and you don't just go butcher something like that up. You really need to understand how you're doing it. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, would be to go to this, this class.
100%.
And what we find out too is like, as detailers, we always color outside the lines. The product was really originally developed for raw metals, and and that's whether you think of bridges and pipelines and such, and of course we're going to color outside the lines. And it's crucial that you come be a part so you can learn what it was designed for. And if you choose to color outside them lines, to realize that, there's some things that you have to watch for and be aware of. And that's the type of stuff you don't learn if you don't come to the class,
That's right.
Because there will be at some point, there's going to be some type of online training, possibly. It's been worked on, but we have to make sure that every I's dotted, T's crossed, and there's going to be tests that you have to test out of each module before you can just get the product. And me personally, I think a lot of people gain more on the hands-on side of things. But there will be some people that we understand that somebody from the West Coast, East Coast, whatever, maybe they can't make it to the Lexington area. But when that's going to be released, we're working on it. We're working on it hard.
Sure.
I know Marcus and Joel had announced that a while back that, that's going to come out, and it's constantly being worked on. We have to make sure that everything is in place for the people that want to take.
There's a lot of logistics. One of the things that was probably the most stressful part of the trip for me was the test that y'all gave. Like, very stressful part of it.
You're filling me in. I'm a little lost. What test is this exactly?
No, they give you a test. Like the whole time they're like, it's going to be on the test, and you think they're joking.
Oh, right? And then they actually hand you a test.
And then there's a test, and so. Like I like to win, I'm competitive. So I'm like answering my questions, and I get to one. And
he was cheating.
Was he cheating? Oh no.
And Marcus is up there talking, and so I had a question. Like I didn't know the answer to one of the questions, so I'm just like kind of in general saying like, "Hey Marcus, what would you do if like this?" He like rattles off the answer. I was like, "Okay, thanks." No, it was fun. That's hilarious. They've really made what, like you said, death by PowerPoint. Like it's not that. You got the personality of Marcus and Mike and Joel if he's there. I mean, and then guys like, I don't say me, but like the ones that are there a lot, trying to help out and engage and keep it interesting for none of us like to sit in classrooms, but this one you have that time, but y'all have made it interesting and kept it kept it fresh.
And what's always interesting is we go through that PowerPoint, and we always warn people like we're going to go through this PowerPoint, and when we get out to the lab, if you want to say, you're going to be like amazed at how easy it is, and people don't realize that. Then they get done, they're like, "That's it." That's it. That's it. I feel cheated. I only get like 2 hours out in the lab.
Oh no,
Marcus gets all the time.
You are cheated. You get to sit there and eat grapes. So
eat grapes.
Yeah, he eats grapes. Okay, he's a grape eater.
Oh, wow, that's so funny. So exclusivity, Mike. Right now, there's only been so many Aegis trainings, which means there's only so many Aegis, installers right now. Thank you, Dustin. And I was browsing through Facebook, and one of our customers and one of the IGL guys, we just happened to see this picture to Ethan. Says he's spaced.
Oh, does he have a picture?
Yeah, Highline Shine. We're checking it out. This is Highline Shine is doing an install on a tractor ditch witch.
You know where I thought that was? I thought that was the IGL training facility.
No.
Oh, that's his shop,
isn't it?
That's ours. That's our shop.
Yeah, that's the shop. That's the IGL training facility. Yes, that's because I was wondering how he got the IGL detail booking banner.
Yeah.
That's the IGL training facility.
Matter of fact, that's the training I was at.
Hey, that must have been
that is.
Cool. When I saw the picture, it didn't hit me, and then I'm like, "How would he have gotten that banner? How would he have got the logo?" And then it just hit me. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
but to give you an example, you're right. There's not, there's roughly, I would say, 65 certified installers right now. And to give you a little bit of an example, we don't hand it out to anybody, obviously. We've had billionaires come through the class. You know, you would think that, and they could have wrote a check to us and said, hey, we don't want to take the class, but we make them because, you know what, it shows us that you're serious about this, and two, it gives us that opportunity. We have to teach them, like I said, everything from the safety to all the way through anything and everything about the product. You know, we've had large construction companies. You know, these are not just detailers taking this class, but we do have a lot of detailers coming through, and they're starting to see. I think a lot of people are starting to show one another, like, hey, look at what we did. You know, you know, people are posting pictures and videos and everything else, and it's going to really change the mindset of people when they're doing this industrial equipment and just anything on the industrial side of things. So.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, so seeing the pictures, that's kind of obviously generated the buzz. I mean, do you feel like this thing is catching on to some extent? Like, are people starting to inquire within now?
Yeah, every day, Marcus and our phone is basically all day, every day is about ages.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, I would say at least 6 hours of my day is consumed with questions or conversations about ages.
That's great.
This is by far the fastest growing product as far as we always talk about Eclipse when it came out. Eclipse is a product. It took time for it to get known in the industry, and this thing is just taking off fast. Actually, in March, we're going to be in Denver, Colorado, to the corrosion show with it.
Oh, that's right. That's what's going on in Denver.
Yeah. That's so, cool. And that's where we'll be. You know, it'll be introduced to the corrosion side.
Yeah.
The corrosion side world, you know, I mean, it's not.
That's when the bullseye is going to get put on you guys, though. I mean, because you're stepping into it.
Yeah, the bullseye is on us. Like, it's interesting to see other companies already. You know, just the little, whether it be the comments they make or the, you know, you see them following you all of a sudden.
No kidding.
Yeah. But whether it be your personal page or the IGL page or whatever. And that's common, you know, it's going to happen. But you know, it's new and exciting for everybody. And I think everybody always wants a slice of that pie. And what's interesting is if you look at the stats of how much is spent each year, like over $4 trillion a year is spent on corrosion control.
God.
And what
there's enough slices of pie for every one of us.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more corrosion than there is cars, I would imagine. And we know there's more cars than every detailer can detail.
Well, every car is susceptible to corrosion, so therefore it's at least equal.
That's like saying, is there more windows or doors in the world?
They're correlated. No.
It's windows or tire.
Yeah.
So windows or tires. I can't remember. Doors or tires. Doors or tires. There we go. Mike, so the one thing that I have learned and that I'm really excited to share with everybody is I've been told that IGL Don is a big part of the Aegis training. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What part does he teach?
So, like, you know, a lot of people have asked where IGL Don is, and I don't know if you saw a couple weeks back, you know, there's a lot of campaigning going on, and we started campaigning hard, and IGL Don, he's out on the road campaigning IGL, the Aegis a lot. So, and I think that's a lot of why a lot of this is growing fast.
I wasn't going to say it, but
last I saw him, he's lost a lot of weight. He's just, you know, it'll be exciting at this next training. He'll probably show up in his green suit and,
you hate to give credit to one portion of this thing, but you know, you feel inclined, you feel obligated to give most of the credit to IGL Don. I mean, he has really made a statement in this thing. And
so you look, let's be honest, you look a little like a little slimmer here in the face too. Are you taking some, you training with IGL Don there?
I don't see him much, but I was really motivated when our buddy Dustin
that's right,
his journey. And it motivated me to do better on my health, and Marcus, of course, and Joel, and we've just kind of taken this to a whole new level. And now my goal for this next summer is actually to run a marathon, a 26-mile marathon. So
Heck yeah.
I got a lot of training to do.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah, but it's fun, man. That's awesome, dude. You've inspired me as much as I've inspired you, and you and Marcus. I mean, Marcus is doing this. I mean, he's kicking butt, dude. And Joel's doing great for a while. Hopefully, he's back on track. We're gonna get on him. But so a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about Aegis. So it's interesting some of the things that you put it on. I mean, so you got your I hate to say typical use, because I don't think there is typical use, but I've noticed you spraying some very creative things as well. What's some of the off the wall stuff that you put Aegis on and got?
All right, so now I'm coloring outside the lines. I want everybody to know this. I get yelled at quite often.
Yeah, but that's the fun. That's the fun stuff.
I do a lot of research, or just
R&D,
trial R&D.
Yeah.
I did put it on a whole bolt.
Yeah.
That was oxidized out. It was a 20-year-old bolt. The customer wanted to know if it could be polished back, and I was like, anybody that polishes that, it's going to be $3,000-$4,000.
Yep.
So let us give it a little acid bath and let us spray Aegis on it. Been on there for about 6-7 months. It's doing great. Again, coloring outside the lines. We've had Marcus put it on the bottom of his boat, tinted it black.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Aegis that we didn't really talk about is this is a clear coat. We'll go on clear, but we can also tint this to any color we want. So I have individuals that maybe they build muscle cars. And now they'll take a frame, and instead of just taking it to the painter and having it primed and painted and clear coated or powder coated in some cases, now what they'll do is bead blast it. And remember, this was made for raw metal, so now they can take this clear coat, tint it any color they want, spray it onto the frame, and be done.
That's awesome.
So we've had it on, of course, trailers. Dog trailers I've had it on. Rocks.
He did.
We have one installer that he's in Wisconsin, and he's taking Aegis, and in Wisconsin we have a severe problem with road salt. And even some detailers out there, they may use really strong chemicals that if you put a sealer on your garage floor, and within a couple of months, that sealer is basically ate away from the chemicals.
Wow.
And what he did is he put it in the spot that he does all of his detailing, the Aegis, and then he sealed the rest of it. And you can see where the floor is sealed versus where the Aegis is.
No kidding.
The Aegis doesn't eat away; the sealer eats away constantly.
Wow.
So the concrete world is starting to. We've had in other countries, they've done subways, the concrete in the subways, of course, locomotives. It just goes on and on. It's.
I tell you,
I've got a couple ideas. I'm gonna have to.
It's impressive, man. And again, we started this conversation by thinking about things that you can do along with your detailing business, or things that you can do, an added service. What do we do to supplement this the slow time, to help inject business in there, and things like this open doors for that opportunity.
And Dustin, to back up a little bit, for those that don't even have the Aegis, and I just want to cover this real quick. It's not Aegis related, but I had a little conversation with a lot of my installers. And I don't care what brand you're using, whether it be IGL or somebody else. It's time to get back to the basics sometimes.
Yes.
We're always chasing that $1,500 ceramic coating, $2,000 ceramic coating. And, we've seen, everybody I've talked to have seen a little bit of a slowdown here as of the last month or so. There's certain things, and I've seen, actually, Joel had talked about it, and I saw Barry Thiel talk about it the other day too, and some other people is, there's certain things like window coatings. You can sell it. It's safety. You can't say no to safety.
Right.
Show your customers that headlight's another safety thing. Why are we not pushing our interior coatings? You know,
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't cost the customer $1,500. You might do it for $300-$400,
Right.
and you can afford that. And what that does is opens up that possibility of them coming back and saying, "Hey, I really like what you did to my windows. I like what you did to my interior. Yep. What can you do to my outside of my vehicle?"
That's right.
So I mean, that's the first part of it if you don't have ages training. But then the second part of it is, how do we pivot to that next level? And there's a lot of shiny car chasers out there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get into this industrial side before everybody else, because it'll switch, but there's a lot of industrial work. Like your common person with a car can say no at any time because it's a matter if they have money or not. But when you get into the industrial side of things, we're preventing something. And when you can prevent something, nobody can say no. You're going to save them money, so, whether it's maintenance, replacing of things, you're saving them money. So they can never say no to your process if you can show them the benefits of it.
It becomes an investment, not a cost, right? And so
100%.
When you're spending money to save money, you're investing instead of I'm spending money to just make something look good. That's a cost.
100%.
And so that conversation has to be had. And when it does, I want to bring up something that I can pat kind of easy in on the back a little bit. Is we ran a promotion. This is a really good thing, and this is something you guys may want to hear for the month of December, starting on Black Friday. We did gift certificates, and typically what people do is like, hey, you get 20% off a gift card, or for every $100 we give you 120, blah blah blah. But instead, this year we did a free ceramic coating windshield with with any gift card over $100. And on the gift card, we printed these things out, and it's got a little stub that you tear off. That's the windshield coating. So you can either keep that for yourself. So I buy the gift card for Ryan. I keep the gifts, nice. Or I give both of them. Either way, what's happening now is this customer that probably has never had anything ceramic coated is fixing to be blown away with our windshield coating. And their first thing you're saying is, man, this windshield coating is performing, because we know how good it is. And so, now the question is, can you coat my car? Or like you said, can you so it opens the door for that. And the cost is minimal. The cost is minimal. We're getting that service. We're not giving them anything, like any money. We're giving them the service. And so, that's another one of those ways to provide extra value without discounting a service.
Introducing your customers to something that they didn't know about without costing them thousands of dollars. Absolutely. It was saying, hey, this is, what you need, $1,000. Whoa, I was,
right.
And
right.
yeah,
well, now they're inquiring in instead of you having to sell it. So yeah. Okay. Well, look, Mike, appreciate you jumping in here and talking to us about Aegis. I'm excited about it. Like I said before, I actually came to 2 of the trainings. I had to bring my dad back just to hear it. I mean, I was that impressed, and I'm not kidding. I mean, we physically drove back up to Lexington from Mobile to go hear this training again, sit through the whole thing, and I was equally as shocked the second time as I was the first. And it is very simple. Once you go through the process, learn about it. Can't say enough about the customer service. You and Marcus, when we got out to spray that crane, we were dealing with a couple issues. These were variables that were unexpected, right? When you're doing these things, like we were using the customer's compressor, which we never do, which had moisture in it. So we had some issues. Called Mike. He jumped on the phone. We started troubleshooting, and then I think you talked to Marcus a little bit during the middle of all of it too. And then within 30 minutes, we actually went and had lunch, and had to get a couple of things that we needed, and solved the problem. Went on with the project and worked like a champ. So I know what those things mean to people like me. That to know that your help's just a phone call away when you do decide to commit to this.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate our relationship with you guys. I thought you came for that second training so we could go for our runs, but I guess I was wrong.
Was that the second? Yeah, it was the second one. That's what it was. That's what it was. No, those were some good runs, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. What was it? 2 10 mile. We did 10 miles, right?
Yeah. 10 miles.
Back to back.
Yeah.
and then we chose a new route the second day. So we went for the 10-mile run the first day, and we chose a new route, and we did not realize the hills that it had. No. And oh my God. And the traffic.
We basically ran to the training center and back.
Yeah, we did. We sure did. Yeah, we was right down from the training center. And but it was good, man. And listen, I always appreciate your friendship, and you know, for those of you that don't know Mike, I can tell you he's an asset to the detailing industry as a whole, man. What you've done is awesome, and we appreciate you know, all the support and friendship for sure.
I appreciate all of them guys you send my way too, sir. Thank you very much for that.
Likewise.
He definitely have introduced plenty of guys to Detail Bookie that,
Yeah.
that you know didn't really know nothing about us, and now that are happily on and rocking and rolling. So we appreciate you, man.
Well, look,
Awesome, guys.
if they want to get in on a training, what was it? What was the website again?
So training at iglcoatingsusa.com, or you can message myself and we'll get you going.
Yeah, awesome. Appreciate you. If you happen to run into IGL Don, make sure you tell him I said what's up.
I'll do so.
Him at SEMA. Maybe we'll see him again soon,
Yeah.
and we'll be seeing you later.
Sounds good.
Take it
Thanks,
easy,
guys.
buddy.
Thanks, brother. A third coolest guy.
No, I think I'm definitely the third coolest guy now.
You were that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't have anything to add about the training.
The what? Oh,
Well,
man.
you know, I'm still working on my before body, and I know it's almost perfected.
It's there.
It's there.
It's time.
It's
So
time.
so you didn't hear this, but we're doing this thing. You know my group, my Iron Man group.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So I'm fixing to make an announcement.
okay.
I'll go ahead and do it. It's great.
Exclusive.
It's exclusive.
All right.
All right. So the deal is starting January 1 until the boat show, which is the last day of March. You're gonna have we're gonna lay out a program where you do these things each week, and you train up to running / walking a 5K. It's 3.2 miles at the boat show.
Okay.
So boat show Saturday morning at 7:00, we're gonna run this 5K
Nice.
together as a group. And so leading up to that, so you start starting January 1, like week 1, you'll have like a mile to cover. Like,
Okay.
and you have to report it, like take a, you know, if you can download Strava for free.
Yeah.
It tracks you on your run, you screenshot it, send it into the group. And that's how you report it. And it's accountability thing, right?
Okay.
And then we're gonna have people like Mike. I talked to Mike. He's gonna be in there, like kind of helping. Trey Huggins is gonna lay out the training program. My training partner, or my trainer, Skip, he's gonna be in there for added.
I thought it was just
tidbits.
your partner.
That's my partner.
Oh, partnership. Go ahead.
Training.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
No, he's my trainer. And he's really, man, he's super smart when it comes to all the things, the health things, you know, like light and
I was like, say he knows his lighting too, and a lot of cool
lighting,
stuff. I'm
nutrition.
interested.
Yeah. So he's going to be adding tidbits. So as you start this process, you're immediately going to want to start to learn other things. You know how we are. Like you get into it, you're into it. And so he's going to be there to give value in that aspect. It's all free, of course. It's free. Like there's no commitment or anything like that. It's just it's an accountability
Sounds like a
group.
Contest almost. The
It's
way
a contest.
You,
I'm going to win it.
Okay. There's no doubt. Yeah.
So, anyways, there's that. That's
That's cool, man. I love it.
Off script, but I wanted to tell you, so I think it'd be cool for you to join.
I like how you pointed at my belly whenever you said that too. It'd be cool.
What happened? All right, there's got to be something else in the show.
That's
What the hell
right,
is it?
dude. What do we got going on, Ethan?
All right.
That's right.
Or heck.
Yeah.
Roll
so-
that beautiful bean footage. Whoa, there he is.
Look at Chris.
Look,
Is that a
okay.
mustache?
It's a paintbrush. It's a
That's
mustache.
a
Oh,
mustache.
he's an artist.
Yeah.
He's an artist.
Yeah, you're an artist.
he's
Okay.
mixing- Oh no.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
twisting
he's
the-
twisting the mustache. A little bit of tire shine. Okay, paintbrush.
I love what he's doing with the videos
that's-
now, how he's
yes.
walking us through it. This is great.
Okay, paintbrush on a tire. So using the paintbrush to spread tire shine evenly. This is the hack, it looks like. Or could it be the milk jug to hold the tire shine?
I mean, I like the milk jug to hold the tire. Sounds pretty
or
smart
could
idea.
it be the handleless paintbrush?
Is that a handle?
That's a handleless paintbrush. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
It's both. Okay.
Oh,
So
you nailed it.
nice.
Look there.
What is the artist like that?
Yeah, this is
Bob Ross.
What?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
That's not who you was
It
thinking
did
of.
look like Bob Ross. We should have got you.
That was an answer. Using a paintbrush to apply tire shine. That is confirmed.
So,
It works
love it, man. That's great. So if you're
in the woods.
yes,
Okay. You're in the woods.
set this up real quick for me.
All you have in the middle of the woods is a tire,
Mhm.
a wheel,
Okay.
because the tire's gonna be on the wheel,
Okay, gotcha.
a milk bucket.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
You go
okay,
ahead.
so just the tire.
Okay.
Whatever. All right. A milk bucket,
pair of scissors.
a pair of scissors, some liquid tire shine,
Uh-huh.
a brush.
Yep.
You can absolutely dip that brush into the tire shine, spread it around that tire. This hack is confirmed. It works.
Boom.
Use it. guys, send it home, run your business with it. It's going to make you millions.
That's right, man. We sure do appreciate you guys joining us today. So listen, next week, big show. We got someone who I'm really excited to have on the show.
Yep.
Justin Day.
Justin Day.
That's the Detailers of Las Vegas, man.
That's right.
We're going to be talking about PPF. Damn good work. So.
Absolutely, man. We was out there to his party at SEMA, and he threw a hell of a party. So excited to be talking to him and learning about PPF and how we can implement that alongside of a detailing business. I know a lot of guys already do that, but I think it's a very good service. We've considered adding it a few times. So going to be a great show next week. Look forward to it. We'll see you next week. Peace. Great show. Great show, man. Great show.